Hi everyone, welcome to my channel International Storyteller. In this channel, you will find true horror stories worldwide. These stories are for entertainment purposes only. In this video, I will tell you the real scary story of a haunted doll called Mr. Fritz. The haunted doll, Mr. Fritz, is one of the most disturbing and frightening dolls in the world. It is a haunted ventriloquist doll that is found in the United Kingdom. This doll is locked inside the room of the private collection of Michael Diamond, who is an alternative performer. This room where the haunted doll, Mr. Fritz, is still kept is known as the Freak Room. Inside the Freak Room there is a wide range of abnormal items. But the creepiest item is the doll, which was kept inside a display cabinet that has a door. The Freak Room is now the final resting place of the haunted doll Mr. Fritz. Most people find this doll too scary because of its creepy looks. The doll head is mounted on a piece of wooden paste stick. The doll's face is peeled in a twisted manner, and it still looks very much alive. Most of the collection in the Freak Room was acquired by Michael Diamond through considerable financial investment. But this creepy doll was given to him for free. A number of individuals, especially those who are familiar with ventriloquist dolls, find such dolls to be highly terrifying. As a result, such dolls are either discarded or stored away in attics for years, while others are handed to collectors such as Michael, whose responsibility is to gather them. So how did the creepy doll, Mr. Fritz, come into the possession of Michael, and why is this doll considered one of the most haunted dolls? In order to know this, let us hear the story. A few years ago, a well-known World War II military dealer approached Michael when they were both working at a festival over the summer in the city of Liverpool in England. When the dealer meets with Michael, he wishes to remain anonymous. He had seen Michael's traveling exhibition of oddities and thought that the doll would be an outstanding addition to the collection. The dealer told Michael that earlier he had discovered the creepy doll in an antiques mall in US city of Myrtle Beach. Once he heard of the connection with a German prisoner of war camp, he felt compelled to buy the doll and bring it to the United Kingdom. Then the doll was kept in his showroom. But the dealer started noticing strange things when the doll was displayed in his showroom. Before closing up for the night, he would lock up the door of the doll's display case. When he returned in the morning, he discovered that the door of the doll's display case was wide open. Every night the door of the display case would be shut, and yet every morning it would be open again. The situation started to take an even more peculiar turn when the doll's eyes that were normally closed would sometimes open wide by itself. In addition to this, the position of the mouth of the doll also changes from its original position. The dealer thought that the doll's eye and mouth sometimes change from its original positions due to the flow of wind, or a mouse may have tried to enter inside the head of the doll. But on closer inspection, he came to the conclusion that none of these things were the cause of the problem. Day after day the door of the doll's display case continued to open. So he finally made the decision to lock the door with a chain, since it continued to open despite his best attempts. But, when he returned the next day, he found the chain had been removed, and the door had been unlocked once again. He was quite surprised by this discovery. In the end, he finally removed the doll from the showroom, and placed it in the garden shed, where it stayed for another 6 months. His children then reported hearing laughter from the shed as they played in the garden. As a result, nobody would dare go near it. Therefore, the dealer considered it essential for the doll to leave from his property. As soon as Michael obtained the creepy doll from the dealer, he placed it in his freak room. Then, immediately, he also started noticing strange things happening. The door of the display case where the doll is kept started to open by itself. At first the door would only open once or twice a week, but soon the door opened every night without fail. He even discovered one morning that the display case was not only open, but also had moved 6 inches across the table. He was surprised by both of these discoveries. Eventually he decided to install a GoPro camera in order to keep an eye on the doll. Then over the course of 2 nights beginning in September of 2019, the GoPro camera finally captured the footage of the door of the display case opening by itself, as well as the eye and the mouth of the doll, changing its position. Since then the doll has been considered one of the scariest dolls. But what is the story behind this haunted creepy doll Mr. Fritz? In order to know this, let us continue hearing the story. While inspecting closely, a small handwritten note was included with this creepy doll. In the note, it was revealed that the doll had previously been used as a ventriloquist doll. Over the course of World War II, between the years 1943 and 1945, this doll was used to provide entertainment for Allied prisoners of war, who were being held in Stalag 2B. Stalag 2B is a concentration camp for German prisoners of war in Poland. It was situated 2.4 kilometers to the west of the village of Hammerstein in Poland. In 1933, this concentration camp was established as one of the first Nazi concentration camps. Its primary objective was to house Germans who support communism. In late September 1939, with the intention of housing Polish soldiers, the camp was transformed into a prisoner of war camp. Then, in August 1943, the first American prisoners arrived, having been taken prisoner from the Battle of Tunisia in North Africa. Over 600 U.S. prisoners of war were held in Stalag 2B. They lived a harsh life, consisting of long days of hard labor on farms in the surrounding area, with very little food availability. Prisoners tried to overcome these hardships by educating themselves and staging entertainments such as musicals and comedy. One such prisoner who came up to entertain other people was Private Billy Booth. He had worked as a puppeteer and children's entertainer before the Second World War started. He had made a doll with German newspapers soaked in potato starch. After making the doll, he named it Mr. Fritz. For almost 18 months, Private Billy Booth and his doll, Mr. Fritz, entertained the prisoners of Stalag 2B with songs and jokes. He was so good that even some of the German guards found him funny. But unfortunately, on 14 January 1945, 2 weeks before the camp was liberated, Private Billy Booth and 9 other U.S. prisoners were taken into a field. They were told to dig a large hole, and then the German guards shot them for not working hard enough. When the camp was finally liberated on 28 January 1945, the doll was taken back to the United States by a fellow prisoner. Then, the doll was given to Private Billy Booth's family as a reminder of their son's ability to raise morale while staying in the German concentration camps. But how Mr. Fritz's doll ended up at an antiques mall in the United States is unclear. Did Private Billy Booth's family give the doll away, or was the doll thrown out because of its creepy looks? These things will never be known to anyone.